Okay.
Okay, so we're getting started here. We're working on a little troubleshooting here. Hold on about it. Hold on a minute. You know,
Yep.
because Victor was, or we had a little trouble getting started. Let's just say that.
Yes, and it's mostly my
How's
fault.
everybody tonight? All right, let's see if we get this working. Okay, so Victor can hear me fine, but nobody can hear Victor, right?
No, can you guys hear me at all? Yes, no?
Jan Q. Well, the YouTube notification does not work, but I still caught it. Hey, Jan Q, how you doing today? Strange. Why can't I hear you? Is it me?
I can hear
Maybe
myself.
it is me.
Yeah, I could hear me.
Try to turn up the volume. No, volume's all the way up.
So here's the trippy part.
Odd.
Like, I hear myself in the video.
Yeah, I think Vic. I can see the. Can anybody hear Victor? Because I can't hear him. Hey, Kiki's in chat. Hey, Kiki.
Okay, see, yeah, people can hear me. So it's
This is really odd. I'm talking to you, but I can see you, and like everything's working, but like I can't. I can hear the both of you just fine. Then I guess it is me. Then there's something wrong with my audio setup. Hold on. Odd.
So this means I could have a conversation with everybody in the comment section. Hello there. You hear me okay now?
Strange.
Okay, good. So people can hear me then.
Hold on. Simon sending me a message. For everybody knows Simon Nochanama.
Mm-hmm.
Weird things seem to be happening. You keep going off and on and off. I'm driving, so I can't really watch. When I get to the supermarket car park, I shall attempt to...
Okay, Simon's trying to help us out here.
Okay.
Let me fix something here. Is it? Oh, that's right. Speakers. Ugh. That's weird.
Something messed up?
Oh, there we go. That was it.
What was it? What happened?
I don't know. I guess now it's working. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get the show on the road.
All
right. Okay. Welcome to another edition of Welcome Japan. I'm your host, Mr. Radrey, where I interview creatives here in Japan, and I talk to them about the craft and how they make their creative things. And on my show today is Victor from Frame of Travel.
Hello, hello.
How you doing today, Victor?
Doing good, although I had to kind of rush to get here. Apologize for making you wait.
No worries. So I know you're a beer man, right? Is that right? So
yes,
I bought a Hugenbogen or Hugarden.
I
don't really drink beer, but this is the only one I do drink.
You kind of splurged on me. I had to run to the convenience, so I just got one of the autumn beers that they have out right now.
All right. How are those, by the way?
I have no idea. They change them up every year. So
oh, okay.
80% of the time they're pure crap, though.
So I guess for our audio listeners out there, they can't see this, but my girlfriend bought me this thing from Spain, and I don't really drink beer, so but I mean it's supposed to, like, it's a bottle opener, right? So I'll use it for the first time. Or how do I even use this? I have to be able to show it and open it at the same time. Shit, I can't do this. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you go.
Nope. I can't even use it. Hey, there we go. There we got it. All right. Cheers.
Cheers, bro.
All right. So, with that out of the way. So, you're Victor from Frame of Travel. Tell me, how does one frame travel?
Well, it's kind of like it's what you perceive Tokyo to be or perceive Japan to be. So everybody kind of like has their own reason to come visit Japan, and everybody sees Japan and the sub areas of like Tokyo their own way. For example, if you have like your anime nerd and like enthusiast, they're gonna go to Akihabara and just geek the hell out, right? But if you if you have some guy from Arkansas or something, and he's not gonna see, you know, Akiba as like the anime mecca or anything like that. He's gonna be like, oh, cute girls or whatever, whatever the stereotype is. But in a nutshell, it's basically it's a frame of mind. It's how you see your own experience through Tokyo. And the way that I view Tokyo or Japan as a whole is completely different than the way you would, or everybody else kind of in the line.
Oh, okay. So it's not like it's framing a picture of mind. It's not framing as in like you're framing someone for murder.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
It's kind of a spin-off of a Frame of Mind.
Okay, got it. So how is that beer, by the way? Is it very
lackluster? It's kind of mio, as they say in Japan.
lackluster? Huh.
Lackluster.
Well, okay. So you know a lot about beer, right? Is this right?
Decent amount, I would say. Yeah.
What's your go-to beer? What's the one you go to all the time?
Oh God, it'd have to be kind of like an IPA or a stout.
Okay, IPA, Indian Pale Ale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just something that's a little bit better. Something has kind of like a kick to it.
Usually, I always go for something fruity, like Hugin Boogan here, or see the one Blue Moon's not bad from Colorado.
Blue Moon's pretty good. I like that.
What else is pretty good? Like any kind of white Belgian one is always my favorite. But what's your opinion? What's your take on Japanese beer? I've always thought it's too crisp. Really.
Oh man, if you're talking about like the lagers, like the Asahis and stuff like that, the Kirins, I think it's like having sex on a canoe, just fucking close to water.
Okay. Wow. All right.
But they are trying to break into the craft beer scene. There's a lot of like microbreweries around here now. It's ones that are getting pretty big. But the thing that sucks is that they're gearing more towards like the Japanese kind of taste of things. So even though it's like an IPA or stout or whatever, the taste is still kind of that softness that you expect from like Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't really kind of like meet the type of beers that I would appreciate.
Oh. Yeah, it's true. They are kind of. I mean, everybody always talks about how weak it is. For me, it's always like it's the hops that gets to me. Like I can't drink it because of that. It's like it gives me a headache.
That's pretty much what I go for.
Well,
the hoppier the better.
You do you.
Yeah.
All right. So you've been on a few of my friends' shows, most particularly Simon Nochanama is in the chat right now.
Yep.
James from the Insider Podcast, most recently. Are there any others I don't know about that I need to know?
Just Japan Podcast. Kevin's had me on there. Yeah, he's had me on there several times, mostly for Mount Fuji stuff, though.
Really? Okay. People want to know a lot about that? Mount Fuji?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I climb it kind of a weird way, not the fifth station.
Yeah. I mean, remember hearing something. I can't remember what's his name. Do you know who Brian Walters is?
Doesn't ring a bell.
He had a YouTube channel a long time ago. He did this thing called Agent Leo Bangs, like this kind of small, really, really amateur thing that me and Hiko Simon and Gimme Brakeman, all those guys, like back in early 2010, I want to say, or maybe 2009. Anyway, shit, where was I going with this? Oh, now I remember. So, he told me something. The guy who did this show, Brian Walters, he had this channel named System Jap. He was half Japanese, so I guess you could call it his channel that, but I'm not sure if he meant to be derogatory or not. But anyway, he was telling me this statement that, like they said, there's this saying in Japan that says, if you've climbed Japan, or no. How's it go? If, like, you are an idiot.
Man climbs Japan once, but if you climb it more than once, you're an idiot.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I'm 7 times an idiot.
7 times.
Yeah, my climbs usually start from the ocean, so I don't start from this station. I start from zero, straight from the ocean, walk through the city, through the lowlands, highlands, all the way to the peak every year.
Really? Holy cow!
Yeah. So this year was actually the first year where I actually climbed it twice. I did my normal Sea to Summit, and then I went with some friends from the 5th station. So that was kind of cheating.
I knew you like climbed it a couple of times, and I had no idea about 7. Man, that must be a good climb if you've done that many times. Huh? Do you climb any other mountains, or just mostly just Fuji?
I've climbed Takao more times than I can count. I've done Mitake,
yeah,
and Jimba, and then I've done Nantai as well. and I'm hoping to kind of expand that later on.
Huh. All right. Yeah, like, and when you were living in the States, because you're originally from California? Okay. Did you do a lot of hiking there as well?
Oh, hell no, dude. I was lazy. I had a car. I drove everywhere.
All right. I mean, I'm like from Colorado, but I never, I lived in the mountains, but I never go hiking anywhere. You think I would, but all right. So going back to the question here, there's Just Japan podcast and any others I should know about, or is that all the?
I think those are the majors ones. I've always kind of been like behind the scenes. I haven't really been up in front aside from like the YouTube channel that I did last year, beginning of the year.
Oh, what's that? The
Yummy Japan.
Oh, okay. You worked with them?
Yeah, me and Charlie, Two Men Japan, we like spearheaded like the revival of like the YouTube channel for a bit.
Oh, they still make stuff?
Not anymore.
No? Okay. All right. I always get them confused with like Yummy Japan and Find Your Love in Japan, which is something completely different. But
oh yeah, I've heard of that guy.
Yeah, he went in an opposite direction with his channel, but
yep.
Yeah, I remember I was asking Simon Nochanova, the guy who was on the show a while ago. I said, "Is there any guest on this show that you would absolutely refuse to watch?" And he was saying that that would be the one he refused to watch. I'd interview him just to like, see why he made those videos. It's such an odd direction for his channel, but okay. So mostly you're like a director of photography or something, like a DP or videographer for
pretty much. Like I honestly just prefer being behind the scenes and not really one kind of like for the spotlight.
Oh, okay. And they spotted you for this, right? I hope they did.
Yeah, I mean I was working for them, so yeah.
Okay, I guess if it's working, I guess that's what that means.
Yeah.
AKA funds, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, yeah, the only other podcast I know of is this other one called Disrupting Japan.
Disrupting Japan? I've heard of it, yeah.
Or it's about this guy somebody named Romero. Tim Romero, I think his name. I don't know. I've never met him, but supposedly James from Insider Podcast knows him, and he's interviewed him before. But yeah, because right now I'm trying to like find more guests because I've only like been using some of my friends, and I want to be able to talk to more people, and that's partially why I started this podcast in the first place. But yeah,
word.
So it's Tokyo Game Show. You going? September 20th.
I would love to go, just I don't have time.
Yeah,
I mean, this entire 3-day weekend is already packed with stuff that I have to catch up on. So this weekend's already a waste, and then that's probably going to leak over to next weekend, which is going to leak over to the next for a bit.
Yeah, and that's how it is. I mean, I'm working in Japan. Have you ever been? I've never went.
I've been several times, mostly for work, to be honest. Mostly to either film, shoot photography for other people, and to write articles and stuff.
I see.
Yeah, it's fun, but I guess it's kind of lost its sparkle.
Yeah. Why do you say that?
Well, like I've been spoiled because I used to be going to like E3 in Los Angeles for like years at a time.
Oh, wow.
That was back when I was super excited, but now being a grumpy old fart that I am, that has like video games sitting back there that are still wrapped. I don't have time to be excited about games anymore, except yesterday's Nintendo Direct when they announced Animal Crossing 2019. So I have to go buy a Switch now, just for that.
Oh yeah, Animal Crossing. It seems like I'm seeing lots of fan art pop up of that.
Yeah, so looking forward to that. I'm a pretty hardcore like Animal Crossing fan, so there's that.
Really? They have like a game for iPhone of Animal Crossing.
They do, but then it got too greedy with like the money system.
Yeah,
like when it first started, it was all about kind of like getting all the collectibles, and then they started having events where you could only get the majority of the collectibles if you start forking up tons of cash, and they've just followed that down a slippery slope, and that just kind of made me lose interest.
Oh, it's like one of those freemium games or something.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, there's one freemium game I actually do play. It's the Simpsons Tapped Out. It's the only game I play all the time. But
Yeah.
huh.
Oh, wow, that's old school. Yes, Jan in the comments asking if I'm a Pokemon nerd. So yeah, here's one DS, and then here's my other DS, and then I'm pretty sure I have 2 copies of the latest Pokemon generations that I have yet
Damn.
play. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So I'm not shitting you. Here's proof. It's still in the wrapping.
No, I believe you.
I do not have time. And I even bought the limited edition too, which came with this Evetall kind of like little display thing, but just yeah, no time.
Do you have a favorite Pokemon?
Yes, I do. It's Luxray.
Luxray. Okay, I guess that was after my time. I only remember like the original 150, man.
Yeah. I think it's like third gen or fourth gen.
That's 3rd generation. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're still collecting? You're still playing the games? Well, I guess not the most recent one, but
No, I think it was like a. I have to check real quick, but it was the one before Sun and Moon, which is Omega Sapphire. Yeah.
huh.
Wait, no, Alpha Sapphire. Yeah. I have some, like, this is getting like super nerdy talk, but I have 3 living dexes of catching every single Pokemon up until Alpha Sapphire. So those have just been sitting there collecting dust.
Oh. Jan Q in the chat says that's 4th generation, not
Sweet.
3rd.
Thank you.
I don't know who Jan Q is. Maybe a friend of yours? I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Oh, okay. Ninjaroo88 asks, what does the missus think of all this Pokemon stuff? Guesses you have a...
Yeah. Tolerates it.
Tolerates it? Sounds like mine.
Tolerates it.
Yeah. That's all you can really do.
Yeah.
Well, does she like Pokemon or not really?
No, not Twitter.
No? I don't know. I guess what's my favorite Pokemon? Snorlax is kind of cute. I mean, I only like the original ones. I like the one that's based on Yuli Geller, who bends spoons, Abracadabra.
Oh.
I think in Japanese, his name in like katakana is Yudi Geta or something.
What? Really?
I think so.
Oh, man, I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. What is it? Simon in the chat says, "What's the deal with Fox and Tokyo Creative?"
We're friends. I like helping them out, and basically, I know every freaking YouTuber under the sun, just about.
Oh yeah. Is there any new YouTubers I should know about? I should get on this show.
If you could get Chris abroad in Japan, or even Okada.
He's like the creme de la creme of the YouTube community, right? I mean, in Japan right now.
Just broke a million subscribers.
Man. I don't know. I was talking to Eric Surf 6, right? In front of the show. And he was saying, nobody really cares about you unless you have 1 million subs these days.
Mm-hmm. And even then, you still have to put in work just to get to there.
True.
Yeah.
All right, so going back. So Tokyo Game Show, you're saying it's not really worth going these days?
If you could go during one of the business days, that would be best. Going during one of the public days is just a sweat-filled nightmare. So I would avoid it.
I see.
But the only kind of like the other side of the silver lining on that cloud is the fact that they have usually more events that are catered towards like the public audience. So, for example, Square Enix usually always does kind of like a public event for Final Fantasy XIV where you have to fight one of the raid bosses, and if you win, you get some really cool swag that's like kind of one of a kind. So those kind of things are kind of cool.
So go for the swag.
Go for the swag. Go to buy stuff, because definitely the merch area is pretty cool. It's pretty legit. I think this year, oh god, I forgot his name. Ari-san or the guy from like Game Show CX is going to be there.
Oh, okay.
I already know. Yeah, so I'm a huge fan of him. So if I was to go, that would probably be the main reason.
Having like, are they setting up like a meet and greet or something, or? I
think he's going to be hosting something from like the posters that I've seen. I haven't really looked into it, to be honest.
Oh, okay. For context for our listeners out there, Game CX, what's his name? Gamer Arino Gamer CX. He does the channel kind of like reviews video games.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really well put together. But anyway,
Mhm.
so I guess I'll switch gears here. So Frame of Travel, Victor from Frame of
Oh,
Travel.
am I losing you?
Did you lose me?
I
Can you hear
lost
me?
you for a quick second, so you're back.
Okay, great. Yeah, sometimes the connection goes in and out here. And
Okay.
if it does, just let me know.
Do.
All right, so I'm going to switch gears here in terms of questions. So Victor is primarily known for photography, or I'm guessing you want to be known for photography. Is that right?
Well, for the most part, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. What particularly got you interested in taking photos and photography?
Failing and getting into videography, to be blunt.
So you mostly started from videography?
Yeah, I got a Canon 70 2011 or so because I wanted to make videos because that's when YouTube was getting super popular at the time. I was watching, like walkthrough productions and stuff like that, and that kind of got me excited to try to give it a shot. And then I found out that I had no talent whatsoever. So after moving to Japan, I still had the camera and I didn't want to leave it to go to waste. So I started this blog, which I think you're familiar with. It's called Kanto Kitsune. And
Heard of it.
yeah, so this blog is basically what I kept writing on every week in order to kind of give information to family and friends back in the States. Because I mean, back then, the J-vlogging community was kind of small and everybody kind of had their own kind of vlogging style. It wasn't as mainstream as it is these days. So that's what got me into photography, just taking pictures for my own blog.
Oh, okay. And I've noticed the kind of theme to your photos. It's mostly this kind of oversaturated, I want to say Blade Runner look to it.
It's oversaturated as hell. Let's be honest.
What? What?
It's oversaturated as hell. Let's be blunt. Do
you like the oversaturation?
Yes and no.
All right.
I would say I'm more of a technically minded individual. I have no artistic sense in my body whatsoever. So I try to mimic a lot of the stuff that I really like to see in photography. But the main focus of photography that I want to get into is more landscape, nature, scenes of Japan as a whole. But the thing is that when you're stuck in Tokyo working 24/7 like I have been, the only thing that you have to take pictures of is when you get off of work, which is night, and the city. Which is why I've kind of stuck with a lot of that night photography type stuff.
Oh, really? Okay. I mean, yeah, the night photography thing has this kind of cool kind of postmodern look to it. So I can dig it. I mean, sort of it focuses on one color, whether it's the pinks or the purples or something, and it bleeds into the rest of the photo.
Yeah, and I'm trying to kind of switch it up depending on kind of the main photographer that I'm following at the time. I think it's more kind of an inspired by look by certain photographers that I really admire, and then I just kind of learn kind of those concepts and kind of just go with it from there. So occasionally you'll have stuff that's really super Blade Runner-ish, and then you'll have stuff that's really, I don't know, really rugged and dark looking as well. So I switch it up.
Nice. All right, so I guess I have to comment about this. So you're one of these rare types here in Japan who's kind of avoided getting ghettoed into teaching English. And I, for one, don't mind being ghettoed into teaching English, really, because it's a job that didn't require me to look at a screen all day. And that's what I wanted. But, I mean, I can understand not wanting to teach English because it's repetitive and boring and makes your life feel like it's spinning. But there are some rewards to it. Anyway, this being said, so explain to me what it is you did exactly. I mean, you've explained this to me. You've explained this on other podcasts. I never quite got what it was. You tell me you wrote articles based on SEO, search engine optimization, and SNS work. And
so little be known, I actually did 6 months of English teaching for a bit.
Oh, truth comes out.
Truth comes out. I don't think I've ever hidden it. It just I didn't really stick long enough for it to be a thing. Actually, when I first came to Japan, I was still working my engineer job from the States, but I was working remotely for a year or so. Okay. And then after that kind of stint, I wanted to stay in Japan because I absolutely fell in love with it for that year that I was here. So that's why I was just like, okay, well, I'm going to have to quit my job then. I'm going to stay in Japan. Maybe I could find another job in the engineering field. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible because I couldn't speak Japanese. So went digging around. I found a job teaching English. Then from there, made other friends, made friends of friends, and then applied for a writing position. And I think I to be honest, like I just got lucky because it was a startup company. I was one of like 2 people that had native English skills that was hired onto this writing team while everybody else was English as secondary speakers. So they needed an editor. And me having like such a really strong QA field and background, like I was able to like find all the inconsistencies, and from there I got promoted, promoted again, up until like editor-in-chief level. And that's kind of like what got me away from like this English teaching path and started learning about writing articles, SEO, SNS management, and all this type of stuff. And then I just progressed that field.
So like what kind of articles did you write about? Just like
travel in Japan.
Just travel, like places
travel,
to go,
trivia, and stuff like that, yeah.
Like I remember seeing a big expose that you did about like some place where you went where it has all these foxes. I believe that's in
Shiminari region. Oh wait, no, that's in Miyagi Prefecture, Zao Kitsunemura.
Oh, okay. Was that one of them? Was that one of the big articles?
That was one of them. I don't know. I've written, God, over 600 articles.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So you must have a pretty good feeling about your prose right now, huh?
Yeah. The only thing that sucks is that the majority of them were ghost written and did a lot of like copywriting work, so I don't have my name associated to the majority of those.
Oh.
But those are the ones that pay well.
I see. Yeah, so ghostwriting pays.
Yes.
I have to bring up the show. I mean, my girlfriend completely hates this show, but have you ever seen the show Nathan For You?
No, I'm not familiar with it.
There's this show where like he goes on Craigslist and he hires a ghostwriter to like write an entire book for for somebody to like say like as a motivational to like get people to get interested in moving furniture. Because he does this show where like he tries to help small businesses, and he gets this ghostwriter, and he's just amazing at his job. But I guess I guess if I'm leading up to a question here is, what do you think makes good writing?
That's really hard. I don't know. Like if you were to ask me this, no, because it depends on the subject of writing. I think. I mean, you could get down the essentials, like your grammar, your punctuation, your your SEO wording and stuff if you're going to do it for the web. But it honestly just takes somebody that has like a passion for whatever the topic is.
Oh, okay,
like, so yeah, because if you were to ask me to write, I don't know, start writing articles about flowers and the best places in Tokyo to find them, I would write crap about that. If you get me to write articles about general trivia about Japan, places to go, tourism, spots less traveled, then I'm all for that.
Okay. Well, because I've always considered good writing as just something that you feel. Well, I guess what yours is saying, passion, something that you remember is what I consider good writing.
And you could also track it too. Just throw in Google Analytics on there, and then like if people are staying on that page for more than a minute, then they're actually legitimately reading it. But if you have like a bounce rate of like 90, 95 people not reading it and immediately leaving, your article probably sucks.
Huh. Good to know.
Yeah.
Like, what would you say kept people on? What do you think kept people on the page?
To be honest, I don't know. I just wrote the articles.
Oh.
I think like, for one of the previous jobs where I was like the editor-in-chief, we had a lot of repeat readers, or at least some users that I saw from the analytics. But I think the thing that they enjoyed is that it was, at the time, mimicking a little bit of what Rocket News has, which is the super random, quick articles left and right.
Oh, right.
We had a little bit of that, but with a little bit more mix that was focused towards like travel.
Oh, okay. Kind of, what would you call those rocket news things? Kind of clickbaity fluff pieces, or?
I don't think so, because a lot of people go there and they're usually like the first ones to get kind of the information because the translation work they do from the Japanese side. But I don't know. I just, God, what would you call it? Just information media hub, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, I like the articles they make all the time. They're always very interesting and quirky. I mean, maybe they understand what people like about Japan. Maybe that's what it is. Everybody always likes the quirkiness.
Yeah, everybody likes the crazy stuff. Those are the ones that always go viral. There used to be an online magazine by the name of Ignition.co. They unfortunately shut down. They used to have really amazing, like, hardcore content about like articles about Japan, talking like documentary style stuff that would blow anything else into the water. Just sucks that they shut down. Spoon and Tamago is another good one. They usually have great articles. Then you have like Tofugu. They probably make the most highest quality articles that I could probably like 100% back online. But yeah, it just depends on where you go to for your sources.
So what would you say you really learned from doing all this work? Would you say like, man, I'm so glad I learned that?
I think learning more about Japan as a country as a whole, not necessarily when it comes to the people, but when it comes to like the culture and the history of like certain places.
Like giving you a better appreciation for it? Or?
Yeah. Giving me something like, oh, wow, there's a small little town, you know, to the north of Kyoto that I've never heard of before, but because I have to write an article about that area, I just learned about this town, this town, this town, and they're famous for X, Y, Z, and they do this unique festival during these times, and it's cool enough that I want to go.
Oh.
So it gives me more places that I want to like visit myself.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I remember seeing like some opening. I didn't take, well, I did take it, but I never wrote any articles for it. It was something for like, I think it was Taiken Japan or something.
Oh, dude, they're always hiring.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember wanting to like write for them, and they really wanted something from me, but I was just so busy, or I wasn't busy at all. I wasn't in the mood to do it. Like, I don't want to do this. I want to do something else. I'd rather play Cuphead or something, right? But they were asking for articles, and they had this thing where they say your articles about Japan must be positive, right? Is it really easy to be negative or something, or like
Oh, it is all the time.
Okay.
You have opinionated pieces. I think Rocket News is pretty fair. Tofugu as well. They don't really beat around the bush. But the thing is, depending on the company that you're working for, writing articles for, they're trying to get sponsored, basically. They're trying to get investors. And you can't get investors in Japan when you're negative. Because you're not necessarily, at that point, you're not necessarily writing for the readers. You're writing for the investors. And I don't know, that's a little bit of real talk, I guess.
No, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, I don't know. It just always feels weird. Like I feel like I'm self-censoring myself. You ever get that?
It depends, yeah, of course, yeah. But at the end of the day, I'm getting paid, so.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, it just depends on what you're willing to accept and what you're willing to work for. And I mean, there have been times where even I've refused certain job offers and freelance work because I just didn't agree with like the message of like the websites, etc. Yeah.
All right, so I gotta ask, why is Kanto Kitsune dead? Your old YouTube channel.
Because that name sucks.
What do you hate about Kanto Kitsune? I mean, like,
dude, it's Dasai as fuck.
Like, well, what's lame about it? I mean, it's all right. I mean, Fox is a cool nickname.
No, Kitsune is more kind of like a feminine name here in Japan. If you really
I guess
like
so.
culture thing, so I didn't really sync with that. Kanto, nobody knows Kanto. The name Kanto, the area Kanto.
Yeah, it's true.
Like if you say Kanto, people associate it with Pokemon as a region as a whole, but I don't know. I just didn't really sync. Didn't really have a future, and it really sucked for SEO, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because nobody's gonna search Kanto Kitsune Japan, this and that. They're gonna search Tokyo Japan, Grapes Harajuku, something like that.
So it's like Frame of Travel is a better name.
Frame travel is more kind of like a personal project in order to get away from the business aspect of, all this BS. I mean, that's the reason why I haven't done a website for it. That's the reason why I've stuck with only like Instagram. I'm doing this as an escape from all the stuff that I've had to do for work reasons.
Robert from the chat says, "How about Kudo Neko?"
Dude, I used to have a website called Nekoyaki.
Okay.
Barbecue cat, but that unfortunately got faded away because I forgot to renew the domain.
You're gonna hate me for this question, but did it attract too many furries? Does it make you feel too much like a furry having all these furry names?
No, not. No, I never got any links to any like furry stuff. I think there was a few articles that did get pretty big though. We got quite a lot of traffic.
What do you think the appeal of furries is?
The appeal of furries? I don't know. You could ask Dan from the Game Grounds.
Why would he know?
He just came out as a furry.
Oh, did he? Oh, I didn't know that.
Not literally, but there's this one episode where he was talking about one of the Sonic the Hedgehog characters being hot.
No, I mean, for me, it's like the only people who like furries are probably who have this insatiable love for animals.
Either that or they watched, I don't know, too many Don Bluth movies when they were kids.
Don Bluth. I like Don Bluth. Did you like Don Bluth?
I used to like Don Bluth. 5 Goes West, man. That's a classic.
Yeah. I always liked Don Bluth's philosophy when it came to making movies. His was, did you know it? It was always like, you can have you can put the most darkest, depressing shit you want in a movie, in a kid's movie, as long as it has a happy ending. I'm like, wow. I'm like, yeah, they do really go dark in some of those Don Bluth movies, at least with the color and I guess some of the themes.
Yeah, Secret of Nim was kind of pretty down there. Yeah.
It seems like a lot of people. I mean, like
Robert knows what's up.
Secret of Nymph. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, like, you're a big fan of like Animal Crossing. I've seen a bunch of the Animal Crossing fan art of that recently.
Mm-hmm. You just stumbled upon it, right? You didn't Google, Rule 34.
No, I totally Googled it. No. That's the worst excuse you can tell people. It's like I just stumbled upon it. Like what's his name? Alex Jones, and he has supposed like transgender pornography on his phone. It's like, no, it just popped up on me. Just say you're doing research, or you had to see what it felt like, to watch transgender porn or something. Anyway, let's move on before this gets weird. What do you think? Okay, so you're a photographer, right? So I gotta ask this. I have a bunch of other friends who do, or just one particular friend of the show, lots of friend of the show. Norman England, he's a on-set photographer, takes pictures on like movie sets and everything. Mm. And he taught me a lot about photography in particular. He had a bunch of interesting tips about how to take good photos. Before I tell you what those are, what is it that you think makes a good picture, quote unquote?
Something that can invoke feeling.
Something that can invoke feeling?
Something that can invoke something within you, something that kind of resonates.
Huh. Like, what would you say your go-to feeling? Like, I want to have that feeling.
Awe.
Just awe? Like wow. Yeah. Okay.
Not necessarily like wow, because that's kind of more a little bit kind of like surprising in a way. Just awe, like something you look at that makes you kind of like stop your scrolling on Instagram and Twitter, and it makes you kind of go back and just like go, wow, that's pretty cool. Something that's worth giving that that you think 2 seconds about, and not just do it because you're following this famous person or you're just supporting a friend. Something that you legitimately kind of enjoy and appreciate.
Okay. Would you go as far to say that things you can't describe in words? Or were there...
In a way, yeah.
Okay. Because, like, I mean, they say certain, like, pictures that evoke certain emotions, like happiness, anger, sadness. I mean, like, simple ones. I'm just mentioning simple ones here. But yeah, no, what my friend told me, Norman England, friend of the show, he was telling me, like, if you're going to take a picture, you should always take a picture of, like, people doing stuff, right? Maybe somebody's lifting something. You should always take a picture of their face and get a good, clear shot of it. Or you see some sort of how would I say? I mean, like you see some sort of frame, to use terminology, that like you say, oh, this looks perfect. It almost looks like a painting. Do you agree with that? Like,
I agree with that. However, it depends on what type of photography you're going for.
Oh, okay. You mostly do.
I focus more on kind of like landscape and scene photography as opposed to, I don't really shoot people that much.
Okay. So like, are you interested, like when you climb mountains a lot? Well, I guess just Fuji, but were you in like such awe when you got all the way to Fuji and like looked down like, man, this was totally worth just to see that thing?
Yeah, but by that time I'm usually exhausted as hell, more to the point where I don't even want to take out my camera.
Yeah, no, I know that feeling.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of the times, like if I sometimes I feel like you have to make a video. You have to make a video. To me, it's like all I want to do is just carry this around. I don't want to carry some clunky ass fucking DSLR. But
dude, I can't really.
What's that?
Carry this fucking thing with me all the time. It says my laptop, all my chargers, and my camera's inside here. So I carry everything with me at all times, just in case.
Well, I guess you have to, huh?
Yeah.
It's not like you can make... Well, I guess you can go to like certain sceneries and they'll always be there, but not all of them. Sometimes it's all about lighting.
Yeah,
Sometimes
that's true.
It's not. Oh.
It depends on the moment as well, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, let's backtrack a bit here. So wait a minute. Yummy in Japan. Who was that again? Who was the
Yummy Japan?
Yummy Japan. Thank you.
They were in MCN.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
MCN is...
and then they tried opening their own channel for a bit, and that kind of flopped. And then I got hired on, and I worked with Charlie to try to revive the channel from the dead.
Did she work at Robot Restaurant?
Who?
Did. I know there's some... I can't remember who it was. There's somebody that came up to me. They worked at Robot Restaurant. I'm like, oh, I was in Yummy Japan or whatever. Oh, no.
No idea.
I'm thinking of somebody else. That's Raina. Now, maybe she was in a different one. I don't know. It's like it seemed like there's all these new J vloggers I had no idea about because I kind of shunned and like shut off YouTube Japan for
several years.
Yeah, for several years. Like I don't give a shit. Like, cause it's all redundant. I know all this stuff already. I don't need to watch any of it. You know, it's just I don't need to know your opinion about what Pepsi Shiso tastes like. You know? You know, I could just do that myself, and I don't see the appeal of it. But I mean, I understand why it exists, but who's the J vlogger nowadays I should follow? Just abroad in Japan? Has it always been him?
It's shifted quite a bit. I mean, you have your run of the mill J vloggers that are kind of starting out and trying to make a name for themselves. But the thing is that they keep making the same kind of content that has been around since forever. And it feels like those new J vloggers are just going for the old evergreen content, which is stuff like, hey, did you know Japan has vending machines on every block? Hey, look at Shibuya Crossing, Shinjuku at night. Isn't Kabukicho so crazy? And then you have the J vloggers that have come beyond that and kind of are specializing in basically what made J vlogging work in the first place, which is the individual, the story.
Yeah.
You know, this is why. I mean, I even watched you back in the day as well.
Thank you.
I mean, that's what got me, you know, watching Sam as well. It was just like your guys' personalities experiencing Japan is kind of like sold it for me. But the new crowd is just look at Japan, look at Japan. This is why you should follow me because I'm in Japan. But they don't really not necessarily everybody, but they don't necessarily have something to kind of offer aside from that.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to like the vloggers kind of to watch now, honestly, yeah, it just depends on what you're into. If it's like camera stuff, I'd easily watch, Norm over at Tokyo Lens. If it's, learning about new cool places to actually visit with like, real professional work abroad in Japan, is easily my go-to.
Yeah, I guess, I'm kind of in this post phase where it's like you kind of have to find, I guess that's the first stage, is you have to do the Japan vlogger stuff, trying drinks and, noticing the little quirks about Japan. I mean, I want to say that like maybe there, I want to hope that there's somebody who comes to Japan just kind of like Abroad Japan did, who like really gets the whole format down. I mean, the only reason why I don't watch Abroad Japan is a lot of the time it feels too well put together. I mean, I say this all the time, but I mean, it feels too well put together and kind of takes me out of it. Where like I'm like, no, bring back the amateur. I want to see the amateur quality, like this. Like
I think we've not evolved, but I think everybody's gotten sick of that to the point where it doesn't work anymore.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, it shows. If it still worked, then all these new and upcoming J-vloggers would blow up kind of overnight. But instead, everybody's just kind of trailing along at under 2,000 subs or so.
True.
Like, I'm not trying. Like, trust me, I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm just
no. I mean, I understand.
Just trying to say that like this is kind of like the next. It's the next stage now that everybody has a fucking DSLR and aren't using like their mom's webcam anymore.
Yeah, I guess you got to go with where the views are.
Yeah. And then let's face it, back then people didn't have to worry about being part of the YouTube partnership, so people actually created videos because they liked it. And now everybody's too focused on monetization.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you could even get monetization.
Yeah.
At this point. Jan Q in the chat says there's some highlights on Kite and Eric. Yeah, I just followed their podcast. Oh, by the way,
I met up with them last night. Well, just right now, several hours ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were hanging out. I really love their stuff because it's something I could easily kind of put on, and it's long. And that's something that I really appreciate because while I'm working on articles, I like having something kind of on the side that I don't have to switch out every 10 minutes because that's what everybody does these days.
Okay. Yeah, I'm following their podcast. I haven't listened yet, so I'll give them a listen and start following and see what they're all about.
Yeah.
All right. So I find what you're saying there is actually quite interesting. So you're saying like the stuff like what Broad Japan makes. Like I recently went over to Tokyo Creative's website. I looked through all their quote unquote influencers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this the format people want to see nowadays? People on that list? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, I don't know. Like, cause to be honest, when I left Yummy Japan at the beginning of the year, that was kind of before Tokyo Creative started like going all out. And after I left Yummy Japan, I kind of like separated myself from the whole YouTube scene for a bit. So I haven't really caught up to whatever the trends are, what people are watching these days. But I think theirs is a little bit more kind of like a formula. And I think it's something that hasn't necessarily been really done professionally before. So I think it has a good chance of kind of really sticking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm always trying to look into this stuff and see what I can do and what I can't do. Because,
It just depends. Because the thing is, people want to see you as a personality when it comes to YouTube. Because that's what keeps people coming back. I mean, let's say your iPhone broke, and you go to YouTube, like how to fix my iPhone. You watch this guy's video on how to fix your phone. You got your fix, and then you're done. You're not going to go back to this dweeb sitting in the garage or somebody typing on a notepad for you. You're not going to go back, right?
Yeah.
The same thing with like people that want to see Japan. Okay, what's this really weird place I saw in Kawasaki from videos? Oh, the Anatano warehouse. It looks like the Kowloon district of like Hong Kong. Oh, wait, it was Radley. Oh, okay. Oh, well, I like this guy's personality. He's got cool jokes. All right, let me watch another one of his videos. Okay, I like this guy. I'm going to keep coming back and watching his content. But the thing is, if you keep switching it up, and now you have 6 videos of you exploring Japan, and then you stop doing that, and then you have like 10 videos of you just sitting at home, well, you just killed the entire reason why this audience came to watch you in the first place. You have to have a give and take. You have to follow this kind of same format. This is why you don't see abroad in Japan doing, you know, a live video of just him just kind of just chilling in his room. His videos are professionally made, professionally edited, and it's something to expect when you go back.
Ooh, was that throwing shade at the White Cup Japan podcast?
No, not at all. I'm just saying that.
Okay.
If you look
I'm just
overall,
giving you I'm joking.
If you look overall at the other channels that are out there, those are the ones that are succeeding.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I mean, there's a key to success, but people are too busy thinking their shit smells like roses to level up.
You could say that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one thing about getting older, I've realized, I understand why people tell me they're tired all the time. I'm like, man, I'm getting a lot tired than I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And like, man, this is the new normal now. God damn it. Do you ever feel this way? I mean, you're getting older now too, right?
You know, all the time. And like, when I left Yummy Japan, we had a lot of like supporters, you know, continue supporting us. I mean, you outside, like Jen Q in the comments, like really hardcore supporter of the channel and helped out with Frame of Travel a lot. But the thing is, like, they ask us, well, Victor, why don't you do YouTube? Why don't you do YouTube? And to be honest, just I don't have that artistic talent or the editing skill to provide anything remotely close to what we had at Yummy Japan. And I don't want to be just another, you know, another drop in the pool or the ocean of wannabe starting up J-vloggers.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it's expanding nowadays. Yeah. It just seems like it's harder to find people. Like, I remember when it was much easier back then. You could just go on the YouTube and type it in and find this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Now it just is like a vast ocean of just stuff. Like, maybe you might be able to find one really cool J-vlogger, but you have no idea of, like, I'm just saying, it was easier to find communities.
Yeah.
And it's now, it just feels like it's big ocean.
Back when everybody supported the whole, like, Christmas song collaboration thing.
People still do that?
Fuck no.
No? Okay.
No. I think Mully tried to keep it alive up until, like, 2 years ago. Then after that, just not many people participated anymore.
Well, things have to evolve, and they do have to change. And
but I mean, it's not to say that the audience still isn't there. I mean, it sounds preposterous to say, well, like, who now in the world of the internet and everything, and with so many people online, who hasn't heard about, you know, these new crazy vending machines? There's always going to be like a new crowd, a new audience. It's just a matter of they're not the same audience when you were the audience. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no. I totally get it. I mean, like, I've been talking to Eric Surf 6 a bunch because we're gonna make a video here coming up soon.
Yeah,
he's just telling me, like, man, I'm absolutely killing it on YouTube right now. I'm uploading 6 videos a week, and it's like it's mostly just he's killing it with like the Eric mealtime stuff.
Dude, food is a kind of like easy mode, to be honest.
Tico Sam in chat says, it might just be me, but I think a lot more people are not interested in collaborating compared to before. Do you think that's true?
I think it's absolutely true. People have gone bored. It's the me phase, basically.
Oh. So the narcissism has moved on to YouTube now? Great.
Yeah.
All right.
Because now, like, back in the day, like in the late 2000s, like 2010 or so, people were up for collabing or doing like video responses because there were so few of you. You didn't have to keep track of 500 million people. But now, because there's so many other people in like the same pool, they see each other as competitors. So you have this newbie who has like 50 subscribers who sees the person with 300 subscribers as a competitor. So no, because if I do something with them, it'll just help them, but it's not going to help me much because they only have 300 subscribers. So everybody's thinking of the, like, I could scratch your back, but what am I going to get in return? Is it going to be worth it? And they're not in it to just, I want to make friends, where before you guys were in it to make friends, to hang out, to share information, just have fun. And now it's just like, it's like micromanaging the system. How many subscribers am I going to get if I'm going to hang out with XYZ? Will I get any like monetary benefits if I'm going to hang out with XYZ? What can they do for me?
It becomes kind of like a numbers game.
Yeah, I mean, which is why, like, when we did collaborations at Yummy Japan, all we told people is like, hey, we're gonna be filming. If you want to film, feel free to film. But aside from that, enjoy the meal on us. Let's hang out. We're gonna wrap this up soon, and then we can just chill for the rest of the evening. We never forced any of our like people that showed on the channel to like, you have to make a video, you have to say XYZ. It was always just, we're gonna do this. If you want to join with us, come along for the ride. And I don't think many people do that anymore.
Yeah, no, I totally see that. I mean, I've been having an easier time getting people to join a podcast because they realize it's just a hangout session like this right here.
That's the reason why. Because okay, if I go hang out with, okay, let's see how many subscribers does he have, how many views, comments does he have, and then people base their decision off that, off that stupid number that's associated to your basically your tag online.
Yeah, it's true. Huh. I guess that puts in perspective. I hasn't really thought of it that way.
No.
Yeah.
Like, people are scared to death of like that one thing that they're doing in China, which is like your social, what is it, like your social rank, I guess, where like your peers can like basically like write negative reviews about you to the government, and if you have such a low review, you're no longer allowed to leave the country.
Oh yeah, the point system.
Yeah, but that shit's been in effect for like the last 10 years. It's just, we call it social media.
Yeah, I guess you could call it that. That's true. That spins a pretty good perspective on it.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Some no-namer hits you up on Twitter, and you find out they have like 1 million followers, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna like pucker up your asshole a little bit before you send that reply. Whereas if it was a brand new account with an egg avatar, you're gonna be like, spam and ignore.
Yeah.
It's still human in the back. Sometimes.
I don't know. I'll try to be nice to anybody who messages me still. Like, if anybody, like, even if it's like an asshole, I'm like, sort of like, oh, okay, well, he probably just stumbled upon this and he's looking for something else. Maybe he's having a bad day. So, you know, I'll just say, oh, sorry, you know, I'll apologize or whatever. Just see where his head's at, like, or take a step back, realize, oh, he's one of those. You know?
It was funny because, like, me and Chris from Abroad Japan were friends. And he did some tweet, and I sarcastically kind of, like, poked at him, right? But one of his followers, like, replied back to me and, like, you're a fucking asshole. How dare you talk back to him like that? And I was like, bro, me and Chris are friends in real life. And he sent me like a DM after deleting his public message saying, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. Just like, damn, this is the internet these days.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. All right. Well, I guess this brings me up to another question. So a while ago, you were like a director for hire or a videographer. Correct. Is that still you, or is that no longer you?
Dude, you don't know how many times I've told my YouTuber friends, like, hey, if you need a cameraman or video man.
Yeah, no. I know you used to say that all the time. So I mean,
almost only 2 people have ever taken me up on that offer. Yeah, to be honest, it's disappointing. But when it comes to actual side work, doing gigs, shooting events and stuff like that, yeah, I'm for hire. Not necessarily Deadpool material, but I can take a good picture or two.
Well, being Deadpool is a little tough. I mean, you have to be able to regenerate and self-destruct yourself. But
ambitions, goals.
Sure. All right. See, it's still pretty much open. Is that you still? Okay.
As long as I get enough time, a heads up in advance, yeah. I mean, you ask Sam how many times I was his video man.
Yeah? All right.
Yeah.
One of these brave days. All right. So, I mean, I don't know. Usually at like the beginning of these interviews, I kind of like to ask some sort of inane question. But this one didn't come off as so inane. I mean, it didn't come off as really silly. You know, like to break the ice. But in all seriousness, we talked off the record that you said Frame of Travel was a project of yours and like not a company or anything.
Correct.
What would you say the end goal of this project is? Is there an end goal, or is it just a continuing reflection of your life.
I don't necessarily want it to just be my frame of mind. I would like to introduce people's different frame of minds of how they see Tokyo, and maybe introduce them to new ways to explore Japan for those that are sick of Tokyo and want to go back home. Maybe there's something that a subculture, something that they never explored before, or never even knew was interesting, that could kind of open up opportunities to them.
All right. So
Yeah.
just kind of giving an experience to someone else.
I mean, eventually what I would like to do is kind of turn it into a curator, kind of like, I guess, account where it's people could take turns. Like you could have like a professional person that knows a lot about like the anime culture to showcase some of those like events, like in a serious way, not a stupid, oh, I went to Akihabara, look at all these stupid cosplaying nerds, but to show why they have such a passion in that. And then you have your people that are like your Densho otaku to say, you know, why do they have, you know, like a $5,000 set at home? Why do they go to these train stations to take pictures? I mean, there's a deeper meaning beside the stuff that most of us are guilty of ridiculing in our life while we basically travel around Tokyo.
True. Yeah, I guess. You don't see those people though. I mean, like there are some here and there, but
no. And as foreigners, there's not really that much information for us to peer into that world.
I don't think there's really that much Japanese content though either, though.
Yeah, but
well, I guess it's better through a foreign perspective though, because we get more of a. The last real like J-vlogger movie, which came out before J-vlogging was a thing, was I mentioned in Simon Ochanama's channel or episode, was this movie called Tokyo Ga that came out a long time ago. And that felt like more of a very vicarious experience. Basically all it was just him carrying around a camera around Japan. You got to learn his experience, but maybe it needs to be more niche nowadays. It seems that's like what it is.
I think so, because people are they're oversaturated in the dubstep music, quick flash edits of "This is Tokyo," you know. Yeah. Everybody knows what freaking Shibuya Crossing. For God's sakes, there's a live feed, 3 of them live feeds of Shibuya Crossing these days. So I don't know, just have to come up with original content and expand people's minds and interests in a way.
Yeah. I want to ask you. Okay, what do you think of like ASMR videos nowadays?
Dude, does not do a thing for me. I tried. I just like, and now I'm going to your left ear, and I'm just like, people get off on this.
Well, I don't think it's like people get off on it, or maybe they do. I mean, I guess they probably do get off on it. But I'm saying
some people go to sleep to it or something. That I just does not do a thing for me, to be honest. It's as awkward as the mukbang videos where you watch somebody eat.
I think what it is like there are these things that you'd never see like a major company make. You know, like a big company would not make an ASMR video.
Or maybe they are and you just don't know. They're being sponsored.
Well, I
it's
think
a perfect opportunity for people with mics to have a huge ASMR person and use our microphones specifically for these purposes.
Yeah, no, I mean, it definitely feels like it's going in that direction, because I'm working on a Halloween video right now, because I want to make this new trend where like I look at all the trends that are going on, like what's good horror this year, right? And the biggest thing I'm seeing is like these ASMR videos. Like there are some creepy freaking ASMR ones. Like I've been digging down tunnels on the internet trying to find her.
Because I'm a hardcore person into horror. I love horror stuff.
Like I don't know, like I like the ones where like the berating girlfriend and the man babies who are playing with cars and secret kidnappings or something. Like where they kidnap you and they talk to you. It's like Stockholm syndrome, or how do I even explain it? I don't know. I'm thinking it's the in thing, because I'm a big fan of this new kind of independent cinema called mumblecore. Have you heard of it, or mumblegore?
They just feel just blah, 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 blah.
It sounds like that, right?
Oh,
but what it is
God.
there's a movie came out on Netflix, which was really good. On Netflix, there was this movie called Creep, where that's a good example of mumblecore. So, where like what it is, it's like a bunch of quiet people, and they kind of slowly speak and quietly speak about, you know, wanting to kill you, wanting to be creeps, things like that. I haven't really fleshed out the idea yet. I'm still working on the writing, but I definitely feel like it's the new horror angle of 2018. Because I think last year, 2017, was more about Trump and cults and clowns and everything.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I think that's kind of dying recently, but who knows?
Yeah, I'd like it to swing back more into like the psychological horror.
Yeah? What's your thing?
Something like Silent Hill, Session 39. No, Session 7. Session 7. That's what it's called.
Oh, yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
I thought it was Session 9. David Bruce.
Right? Session 9, yeah. Those type of movies, like the psychological stuff, the stuff that kind of like really sticks with you, which is why I prefer a lot of like the Japanese horror stuff.
Oh, okay.
It sticks with you after the credits end. The majority of like the American-made horror movies these past 5 years or so have been great on the shock value and the gore value, but nothing's really stuck.
I see. Yeah, when I put this video together, I'll send it to you because I really want to get it done, and I'll tell you because I do think the new wave of horror this year is definitely psychological. It's just it's harder to find. Now, speaking of good horror, what's a good one? Did you ever see Cairo? Or in America, they brought it to America and they called it Pulse.
Oh, that one. No, I've been meaning to see it.
No, you ever seen it? I highly recommend that one. If you're gonna watch any J horror, see that one. That one is
that one and The Cube. People have been recommending The Cube to me.
Cube? I don't think that's Japanese. You mean Cube, the movie?
Yeah.
That one's okay. That one's a little more visual. I wouldn't say that's psychological, but I wouldn't really even call that one horror. But
yeah, that's true.
Whatever. What is it? Question in the chat. Alex FH says, "Have you ever worked as a tour guide in Tokyo?"
Yes.
Okay.
Usually, whenever I have supporters of like the Frame Travel Instagram account, they'll usually ping me saying, "Hey, I'm going to Tokyo. Do you want to meet up?" And I usually meet up with them.
Huh. So, I mean, that's it? You just pick them up at the station like, "Hey, well, this is Akihabara," and...
Well, usually they want to see how I do photography, so I usually go through like the basic rounds of where I go to shoot. Tell them, okay, this is how I got this angle. Get to know them better.
Oh, really? So you kind of sell yourself more from the photography angle?
I don't really sell myself. For me, it's just meeting people, getting to know other people, and having fun. I'm not like a douchebag who will like charge like $200.
No, like okay. What I mean by that is like, hey, I'm a photographer and I can be your tour guide in Japan.
No, I haven't done any of that.
When
I wouldn't want to.
Oh, okay, all right.
I would not want to do that professionally.
How do you even become a tour guide? You have to like go to a website and say tour guides are us, and so like
pretty much
take a picture of yourself. Wait, what? There's a website that exists of this?
Yeah, there is. It's the fuck is it called? There's a couple websites out there where you could like sign up and say this is the type of tour that you're offering, and if they accept it, you could actually do it. And there's even like dedicated photo walk tour like website that's out there.
So just Google it, you can find it.
Or Craigslist it. You'd be surprised how many of these listings you find on Craigslist.
Craigslist.
But you have to sift through all the porn ads.
Wait, what? Like Craigslist has porn ads now? It's always like, to me,
it's not like in your face, but you have like the spam bots.
Okay, spam bots. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a good starting point. Craigslist. Good to know. Yeah, going back to that show I was telling you about, Nathan For You, he does everything Craigslist. I learned so much just from that show about business. Anyway, talking about a show you haven't seen,
Nope,
which isn't great podcast. So I'll move on. All right. So a novelist named Marcel Proust. You know the novelist?
Nope.
Guessing he's kind of a philosopher. He once said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that the memory of something only exists due to like a regret of a particular moment.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that there are any pictures that you've captured that make you say, man, I really wish I could relive that moment?
Damn, that's a good question.
Would it be Mount Fuji?
Because I do that every year. Oh, gosh. There is one picture.
Okay.
It's not one that I took. It's one that a friend took. It's a picture of me at Amano Hashidate. And it was one of my first trips to Japan. And I think that's kind of like what hit me as like, holy shit, I love this country. I love the beauty of the nature. I want to be here. And it was just me overlooking the Amano Hashidate, the land bridge north of Kyoto, that just really resonated with me. Like every time I look at that picture, it's just kind of like.
Is it on Instagram?
No, of course not.
Oh, okay. You don't have it anywhere? We can't see it?
It's a private picture. But
okay.
But yeah, not necessarily regret, but it's just I keep it as a reminder of when I'm feeling pissed off of being in a crowded train, when I'm feeling like I've had enough of this country. I look back at that picture, just remember the feeling of awe that I had at that time to kind of remind me of why I'm here.
Okay. That's interesting.
Cheesy, but...
No, I mean, cheesy works. I mean, sometimes I love cheesy. I mean, what's his name? Stephen King once said that how much about how he loves cheesy books and cheesy movies just because he feels like he learns more from them than he does from, like, good ones.
Well, it's really hard because, I mean, there's not many... I mean, Sam resonates this. There's not many lifers out here when it comes to expats here in Japan. You have a lot of people that have usually the 3-year limit, and then they usually end up hating Japan and go back home. And then you have people that stay. I think if you're over 7 years, that's about the time that you know whether people will be able to stay here or not. And the majority of the time that people usually leave is just majority of the time, not all the time, but most of the biggest complaints are all just the petty shit.
Yeah.
I hate crowded trains. Somebody stepped on my foot. I'm so sick and tired of this country, blah blah blah. And then they bounce the hell back home.
Yeah, I don't know. My attitude is like life's too short to be bitter like that. I don't need to waste my time with that kind of stuff. I mean, if I like what I'm doing, I'm having a good life. You know, I'm eating. You know, I have positive things going on in my life. I'd say life's good. You're doing something right. All right. One comment from the chat I think I'd mention. Jan Q, by the way, thanks for the follow on Twitter. Am I pronouncing it right? It's Jan Q or is it Jan Q?
That's a good question. Is it Jan Q?
I don't know. I'm sure he'll tell us. He says, my kind of horror, the evening news. Yeah, because they often say that, like, writers, the way they often write when they write their stories, one way is that they just watch the news and they get their ideas from that.
Jan Q.
Oh, Jan Q. Oh, German pronunciation. Oh, okay. Good to know. Yeah, no, I was thinking about this today, actually. I was thinking, you know, I get the best ideas for short films when I watch a bunch of other people's short films, not movies. You'd think it would be watching a bunch of movies and maybe taking those ideas and mixing them, but no, it's always just like little small short films. It always feels like there's something where they explore topics that like bigger companies are afraid to touch. They realize it's not really, I guess, a topic or a genre or whatever that they want to particularly pour because it's not lucrative or whatever.
And on top of that, you have to make sure that your message or the point of the short film is solid because you don't have that much time.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. All right, Victor, that about wraps up another edition of Why Come Japan. Anything you want to say before we go?
Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and hit that bell button for future notifications for the Radrey channel.
I should just buy a bell and go ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling at the end. It's like, you know what to do.
Smash that like button.
Just have
but yeah, if you're interested in, I don't know, seeing Japan through my eyes, come visit me over on Instagram, give me a follow, and if you would like to share some of your pictures and opinions about Japan, hit me up, and maybe we could sync up and do collab or something. But aside from that, thank you very much for having me. I'm not a major YouTuber or anything, but still appreciate the invite.
Yeah, no. I mean, I like doing the show because I can catch up, and I like talking about the creative process. And I always have these kind of conversations, and sometimes I kind of ask the same questions over and over. But the way it benefits me is I always get different answers. So if anybody who like really follows the show will notice, like you ask the same questions to everybody. But I always get different answers, and I'm always satisfied with them, and that always kind of changes my opinion and adapts it in a way. So, yeah, but actually, while you were talking about the ringing the bell and doing all the pushing all the button stuff, I was thinking I should make something really unsettling for the end of like some of these videos. There's something that gets the message across, and you need to like and follow and do that stuff because, you know, I mean, I don't know. This feels something so disingenuous saying that stuff, you know, like I'm following a script.
It does, but I mean, the date doesn't lie. If you say it, people have more of a reminder to do so in the moment.
Call to action.
Yeah.
Say subscribe to my channel 11 times in the video. It does work though. I don't know. All right. All right. This was a live recording on YouTube. You can listen to this on iTunes. I don't know. Nobody gives us 5 stars. If somebody who gives us 5 stars, thank you for taking that time out of your day to do something like that. I feel like I should give people incentive to like put ratings on there, or maybe I should put my own rating and, and like disguise myself as a joke. All right, Victor, I'll let you have the last word. Anything you want to say? I guess I already asked that question.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, next week. Oh, I should just say this. Next week on Why Come Japan is the other Victor. Not to outstage the Victor we have right now. The first Victor we have is great. But we have the other Victor, the quote-unquote king of the morons, will be on the show 11 o'clock next week, Friday. Be there or be square. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See ya. See you guys. Bye.